Yeah, how's it going, guys? It's Richard Unicorn Caller here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. This will be the last time I make a video discussing the latest update for Wizard 101, the latest concerns, the latest bugs, the latest whatever it is. This is the last time talking about it because honestly, I think it's kind of getting annoying. And I think we can all agree that not every single person in the spiral is really happy about this update. And I have this whole mega threaded list of pretty much all of the complaints and issues that I have seen on the feed. And so after I'm done making this video, we're done talking about. Before I start the list though, as an FYI, this is not the only video game you can play, right? I think it's kind of clear that a lot of people are really forcing themselves to really play Wiz, and I feel like that is really going to be like damaging for a lot of people. Like honestly, the new Fortnite season just came out. All I want to do right now is play Fortnite instead of make this video, but I want to make this video to clear up all of the complaints, the issues, like everything. Like literally this whole entire thread is just going to talk about everything I've seen so far because it generally seems like not everybody is pretty happy. So without further ado, jumping right into this laundry, this terrible load of laundry, and yeah, we're just going to empty out the dirty laundry. So here we go! Anyway, this was a comment mentioning about solo play in the new world of Novus. I typically see this pretty much all the time with every world, but this time it's a little different because it looks like some PvE players are a little conflicted. Most people are saying, you know, they already soloed it, which is, you know, normal, but for some people though, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's a skill issue and stuff like that, like, oh, time to get better and stuff like that. It kind of got toxic, you know? Was not expecting it to be toxic, but when it does come to solo play, some people do have issues with it, you know? And it's not just for Wizard 101, you know, it could be for a lot of video games. It could be for Wizard 101, not Wizard 101, I just said that. Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a perfect example. Not every single person is going to be Elden Ring. And the reason why is because Elden Ring is Elden Ring, you know? That's a Souls game. Not everybody is gonna be able to know what to do and dodge at the right time or learn the counters or upgrade, you know? And that's kind of the same thing with Wizard 101, I feel like a lot of people will struggle to do solo because there really are some difficult bosses in Novus that I'm sure not everybody is going to be able to solo. Even I was struggling to do some solo quests when I was on test room and I was fighting some of the side bosses, like the side quest bosses. Right, so I am interested to kind of see where everybody stands on solo play because I feel like a lot of people forget that this is an MMO RPG and you can do solo play. I'm actually happy. Look, if you beat Novus solo, I don't care. I think that's awesome. I probably wouldn't recommend that you put that on your job resume for accomplishments because quite frankly, I don't really think that's really something to brag about. Be like, oh yeah, I can do it solo. But then when you have other people that don't do it solo, they kind of bash them for being quote-unquote bad or, you know, saying it's a skill issue and stuff like that, which I think is just kind of stupid. And it kind of makes the PvE players kind of more toxic than the PvP players. Isn't that crazy? You would think that the people that are versing other players are the most toxic. No, it's actually the PvE players that are more toxic. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, moving on to the next thing on that little itinerary, let's talk about this. This is talking about one of the levels, apparently in Novus, that has a visual bug that is really concerning, and this comes from Mona. I actually know Mona. This is regarding Novus. In the frame of the mind in the nucleus gallery, there is a lot of flashing that is dangerous to someone like myself who suffers through seizures. I wouldn't have known about this if without someone else's warning. Is there any way to help? Yeah, this one's a big one. I've seen flashing before in Wiz on some of the other worlds, but yeah, it is serious though, especially if you have your bloom active, because if you guys don't know, there is a setting where you can have your bloom active, and if you have bloom active, it will kind of like make everything like ×2 brightness and stuff like that. But it is concerning though, because if you do have a player that does suffer through a history of epileptic seizures and warnings and stuff like that, then it will become dangerous to even go through that level, especially if people are speed questing through the dialogue and stuff like that. So they're definitely gonna have to sit down and just look at that. Again, we mention this all the time. This update was not ready, and judging by this whole list, by the way, we still got so much stuff to go through. Judging from this list, it seems like generally no one is happy. But yeah, that one's a big one, and I really hope that they fix that. And if you are in that area, I'll bring this up real quick so you know the specific area to just be aware of. It's called Frame of Mind and Nucleus Gallery. So if you ever get to that area, just please be careful on what you're looking at, just because, you know, if those flashing lights do cause you any, you know, disturbances, then yeah, it might be a little rough playing through that area. But they definitely need to take a look at that and just sit down, take the time with it. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. I still haven't even played Novus. Literally, I'm still at level 150 wizard, so I don't even know. I don't even know about that level. Alright, now let's talk a little bit about concerns over the spell audit. This one's gonna be fun, okay? This one's fun because literally I've seen this kind of split thing where, oh, people like the spell audits, and then people don't like the spell audits. PvP players think it's ruining PvP, PvE players think it's ruining PvE. Looks like PvP players and PvE players are gonna have to figure it out one way or another. If you guys don't know, they pretty much did a very big spell audit, and a lot of the spells are basically kind of different, or they have different spell paths, so you can basically change whatever spell paths you want. Pigsy is a pretty good one. I really do like this Pigsy one, because not only will you get the base of 550 on everybody, but you also get that heal overtime on everybody. However, the problem concerns raids, because a lot of people do use Pigsy in raids, so now a lot of people are going to have to kind of re-strategize to see if they are still going to be comfortable using heal overtimes in raids, because some of the bosses counter heal overtimes. Oh my gosh, I know, right? That's so crazy. Another thing to note is that some of that heal overtime can kind of add to that animation time, which of course it shouldn't cut the animation time, you know, because it's the raid and you're supposed to be prepared. But again, it might come to a hassle with a lot of players that are healing, especially on the Vanguard side. Another thing to note is that when you are in PvP, or not PvP, I just heard this from somebody in my Discord server. Apparently they mentioned how it was really hard to get a school pip while they were in raids. So you might not even be able to get a chance to even cast Pigsy or any other school pip type of spell, just because it might be hard to get a school pip in the raids. Because remember, the raids kind of follow the PvP rules. So again, just be aware of that. So I don't know what's up with that, but definitely might go raiding today. No promises on that. After I make this video, it might be too cranky. This one's a pretty fun one, but Grendel's amend is also bugged. We'll get into that further in the video. But yeah, like, you know, this whole spell audit, it's become a headache. You know, it's kind of understandable how literally nobody, at least, is a little bit weird about some of these spell audits and stuff like that. So again, you're gonna have to look at the spells yourself and see what you want. I could have sworn I had Deer Knight. I thought I had that Deer Knight spell already, but I guess I don't. But yep, you guys can go look at that. They changed Reindeer Knight as well, and you can, you know, get this as a shield or a damage overtime. So, you know, do whatever you want. Have fun with that. Again, cry about it. I really don't care. I don't care what spells they change. I don't care what gear they changed. If you have a problem with spells being changed in this game, highly recommend playing a different game, because guess what? Those spell odds are gonna keep coming. I'm sorry to tell y'all this, but they're gonna keep changing spells. Whether you like it or not, you're just gonna have to deal with it. So if you don't like that, then oh well, don't yell at me. yell at the game developers because I don't make changes. Alright? No, don't even yell at the game developers because it's not even the game developers' fault. Alright? It's nobody's fault. You know, it's just the updates. Alright? That's why we're making this video, to kind of discuss all of this dumb nonsense, right? Don't yell at the game developers, right? I know somebody's gonna cut that clip, be like, Richard told me to yell. No, don't yell at them. Don't yell at them. They're nice. I like them, actually. Alright, moving on from this. What's next on our little itinerary? This is a questionable response regarding exploits. Ooh, this one's a very good one, because not only is it very, very dumb, but it's also very stupid. I don't know if dumb and stupid is pretty much the same thing. This is dumb. Okay, anyway, Atmoplex made a tweet. Blah, blah, blah. Ratbeard implies exploiting the current Aeon Flea Strat glitch to get gear faster is bannable. Asked while Sauce was fighting Aeon. Basically, there wasn't really much context with this, but this is basically what Ratbeard replied. I don't know, like, where they're streaming that or who's live streaming, because honestly, I really don't care anymore. But Ratbeard mentioned, yes, obviously exploiting a glitch is bannable. Seriously? Then Atmoplex adds on, because Awesome the Sauce also adds on a little bit more context, because this wasn't really talking about the Aeon glitch. I believe this was just talking about glitches in general, because, you know, if you are exploiting or if you are cheating, then, you know, yes, that is going to be bannable. You shouldn't be cheating in the game, obviously. You shouldn't be, like, exploiting anything. And anyway, they add on, this is from K.I. Artie. I love Artie. He says, if players find a loophole and destroy their own experience, then it's on us. So it's kind of like this back and forth type of thing where, okay, is this whole flea strategy for the last boss of Novus, which, by the way, they should have just looked at when they were on Test Realm. But, you know, it's all good now because a lot of people are kind of, you know, taking advantage of this whole flea cheat. And we've seen this before in the Hall of Heroes fight in Lemuria. I mean, people flee and then they come back. And personally, for me, I actually hate that strategy. Like, I personally do not want to farm this by fleeing and coming back, right? You know, as time efficient as it is, it kind of just makes the final boss battle seem kind of meh to me. You know, there are a couple of instances where some of the final bosses, where if you flee, they got it right. Like in Caramel, if you flee and come back, you'll instantly get one shot. And in Storm Titan, if you flee and come back, you'll get hit hard. But I don't know, I just feel like that this whole flee and come back cheat for Novus, again, I haven't seen it because I haven't quested the Novus. But if it is an exploit, the question is it really going to be bannable? I think nobody's going to get banned just because it is a glitch on KI's end. So they will personally have to patch that in themselves if they really want the grind. Like, sorry, I got to take a moment. I got to breathe. I'm getting too worked up. I got to breathe. But it is going to be up to KI if they do want to patch this and if they do want players to farm the right way. Because, you know, if they're going to make, you know, remarks like that or contradictions or whatever it is, then it is going to be up to them to figure that out. Because personally, for me, I just want to do the boss battle the legit way instead of fleeing and sucking on an elixir and then coming right back into the battle and, you know, just kind of getting an easy win. I don't know. Now, to be fair, the final boss does roughly take around like 30-ish minutes, and the drop rates can be a little iffy. So, you know, it might take you a while, but again, it's up to you. You know, a lot of people make the remark that, oh, it's an MMORPG. You should be grinding already. Oh, so yeah, y'all can have fun with that. Honestly, I'm not even sure if I'm motivated to even grind for the new gear. If it is going to be this weird, then I don't know. But yeah, again, I have not played Novus yet. We'll see, and we'll just wait. Oh, man. Oh man, this one's another concern. Concern over the 2-week cooldown on raids, or not raids, but guilds. If you guys don't know, if you get kicked or if you leave a guild, you won't be able to join another guild until 2 weeks. There's been a lot of discussion talking about that and basically how it kind of limits the guild hoppers from hopping from guild to guild just to raid. And then if you guys also don't know, the raid battle gate will be placed on a 5-day cooldown. So even when you do raid the first time, those raid gates will be on the 5-day cooldown. If you were to unlock all 3 of the raid gates, you might have a little bit more flexibility with your guild. But if you only have one, and you notice that little 2-week cooldown if you leave the guild, then yeah, it might be a little iffy. So a lot of players kind of mention their concerns with that. I mentioned my concerns of that many times. I still think that the guilds should be... Let me catch my breath. I still think that the guild should be 100 players. I feel like 50 accounts is not enough. I honestly think 100 accounts would be enough. But again, I don't make the game. But if the guild does become full, I will have to give somebody the boot, which sucks. And I don't want to give anybody the boot. But in a way, you kind of have to when you're limited on space. So what do? Do you become the villain as Homelander? Or do you just try to wing it out, you know? I don't know. There's like no good way of it. Like there's no... You're going to be... Like it doesn't matter. You're going to be evil either way. Like nobody's going to like you. So anyway, that's for guilds. What's next on our amazing list of this update? Concerns over Novus gear crafting / raid gear upgrades. Yeah, we also mentioned this, how basically the upgrades for raid gear and crafting requires you to have the very specific item. So if you did want to craft anything, look at this. You gotta come over here to the battle crafter. You have to have the same exact boots. It can't be any other boots of nullity, right? Let's say I had like a boots of nullity for myth. I wouldn't be able to use that for this. I would have to have the very specific boot upgrade. So again, a lot of players were kind of concerned, or a lot of players were saying like, oh, you know, it's not really fair because back in Caramel or whatever it was, you know, back in Caramel, they could easily do this. They just needed an off school of that same gear, and then they could craft it. So I don't know what they're doing besides, I don't know where they're going with crafting. I mean, personally, I don't personally find it too much of an issue. I'm already farming a lot, but I don't know. You know, I think a lot of people are getting older, and a lot of people are kind of like having less time to play this game, you know. I personally myself don't really have that much time to play Wiz. And, you know, as much as it is an MMORPG and you should be grinding regardless, I don't know, it just makes me want to play a different game, you know? I'd rather put more time and effort in another video game rather than this, especially when there's all these bugs, glitches, and concerns, you know? So, again, I don't know what they're doing with the future of gear crafting, but players will have to figure that out themselves and, you know, move on from it. Alright, this one is another stupid one. I don't even know where to begin with this one. Let me get to it real quick, but this one talks about the cantrips. Atmoplex reports that cantrip inspires have now been disabled outside of instances tested in multiple public zones in different worlds. This is likely due to the incident that occurred on a test realm when YouTuber Blaze Lifehammer was soft-locked in the battle for 10 minutes by these being spammed. So it looks like that cantrip glitch is still kind of on the live realm, and it looks like they just kind of temporarily disabled it until they fixed it. Now, I don't know if this already got patched and they just never made an announcement. You know, if it did get patched, that's good, but if it didn't get patched, it's kind of concerning because a lot of people kind of use some of these battle cantrips when they're in raids. I don't know if they disabled that for raids as well, but if you can't really cast these cantrip inspires in the raids, you know, in the raid battles, you know, when you cast it in the battle circle, if that is true, then it's going to make raids hard for a little bit. So I don't know about the deal with that. Hopefully they already fixed that, and yeah, we'll just see what happens. Alright, the next issue and concern revolves around school pips and the Arc Mastery stat. This one is pretty interesting because a lot of people aren't a fan of this new Arc Mastery stat. Mainly low levels. So you have to have the stat. If you don't have the stat, or if you don't have the school pip, then you won't be able to cast some of these spells. Like I mentioned earlier, if you wanted to cast Pixie, you're gonna need a life. You're gonna need a life school pip, okay? So if you don't have a life school pip, you won't be able to cast Pixie. And that goes the same thing with Reindeer Knight. If you don't have a death school pip, you won't be able to cast Deer Knight, Reindeer Knight as well. You have to have those school pips. A lot of low levels were saying that, oh, I'm not getting any school pips. Well, I don't know what to tell you about that one. But, yeah, it's iffy. Like I said, and like everybody else said, if you're a low level and you aren't getting any school pips, you can go into the Wizard City shopping district and go talk to Catherine Rockhammer, and she will basically give you a Arc Mastery Jewel. So you want to go over there, and she will basically give you that jewel. Well, you have to buy it. It costs like 10,000 gold, but you have to buy it, put it on your gear, and then you'll get those school pips. So definitely make sure you check that out if you are a low level. But I know a lot of people are just not the biggest fan of the whole school pip thing. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. I had to cough up a bunch of mucus because, you know, I'm still going through whatever this unknown thing I have. But yeah, a lot of people just don't really like the whole school pip thing. So, again, we'll just have to wait and see how the low levels kind of adjust to that. And like I said, if you want to get the Arc Mastery stat, you have to go to the jewel shop in the shopping district and buy that opal. Right, so, yeah, sadly for low levels, it's gonna be a little difficult. Now, this one, this is funny. This next one is funny. And, this talks about the Grendel's Amend card. Basically, it heals your opponent. So, let me show you this video I saw on Twitter. Let me pull this up real quick. I don't know, I just think, like, this whole update definitely needs, like, a rework. I mean, this year has proved very messy for Wiz. So this is the spell card, Grendel's Amend. You know, it's a little Myth Wizard heal. You know, Myth Wizard's like, here you go. And boom. Doesn't heal yourself, heals the opponent. Because why? I don't know. Why not? Why not? Look, here, look. He's doing it again. Like, I don't know. So... yep, Grendel Amends basically heals the opponent. I don't know why. I don't even know how that bug even... like, how did that happen? Like, is there, like, a coding issue or something like that? Wither 101 mentions that we're aware of the issue, and we'll get it fixed soon. Thank you for reaching out. This means a lot to us. Yeah, I don't even know how that glitch even happened. Like, what in the world? Anyway, I just thought that was funny, so make sure not to use Grendel's Amends if you don't want to heal the enemy. There's been a concern talking about Lore Master Spellments apparently, like, not really dropping as much. I heard one of my people from Discord mention that the only thing they gotten was, like, treasure cards and stuff like that, so I don't really know what's the deal with Lore Master, but if you were looking for Reindeer and Krampus Spellments, you can now find it on the Krampus boss itself. So instead of just farming Lore Master during the seasonal events, you would now have to go to this seasonal boss, which is Krampus. And Krampus takes either a wood, stone, or gold key. So, yeah, have fun with that. Speaking of Spellments, though, there's actually a great segue to one of the other issues. But this talks about the whole Deer Knight Spellment issue. We mentioned this in our previous video. Blaze mentions in a tweet, so what is this absolute stupidity? Deer Knight is bugged, meaning when you reset its Spellment path, it doesn't give you your Spellments back, and support refuses to give me my Spellments back. And that's unfortunate. I don't know if he ever got his Spellments back, because in the email it does mention that customer support does not currently have a way to resolve the issues ourselves. A change like this would have to come from the developers. So I don't know, but I highly would not recommend you guys to upgrade your Deer Knight or use any Deer Knight Spellments. Or, yeah, well, you can still upgrade your Deer Knight Spellment, but don't reset it. I would not recommend resetting until they actually have a fix for this. Because you've had people that spend hours and, you know, quite frankly, even money on these Spellments, and then when you reset it for Deer Night, you don't get your Spellments back. You know, it's kind of like a kick in the face. So, again, hopefully they figure that out. Again, this update has a lot of issues. A lot of issues with this whole update. So again, we're just gonna have to wait and see how they handle that one. This one's pretty interesting, but I know a lot of the Wizard 101 Europe community was asking me about the whole free first arc. Unfortunately, Wizard 101 Europe does not have the free first arc. They just have Wizard City and Krakatopia free for a limited time. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's just like a timing thing or what, but I don't know what's going to go on there. But yeah, no free first arc at the moment for Wizard 101 Europe. I will keep you guys posted, though, on whatever changes happen and stuff like that. But moving on from that, what else? We're actually almost done, guys. Can you believe that? We are almost done this dumb list. Oh my gosh. Zephyr makes a tweet mentioning this. This one's kind of weird. I don't know what type of feature this is. But Zephyr mentions if a max level joins a low level fight, their much higher arc mastery rating effectively prevents lower levels from gaining any score pips. Even in fights where the enemy has no arc mastery stat, I can't even talk right now. This handicaps low levels when a max level is present. Is this intentional? Yeah, this one doesn't really make sense. So apparently, if you join like a low level fight, then I guess the low levels don't really have that much like arc mastery stat, or they just don't really acquire score pips as often as you would do. So again, I don't really know what's the deal with that. But if that is true, then it is going to create a big animosity against, you know, high-level players and low-level players. And they've done this before, especially in team-ups where they level-gated team-ups. So if you are a high-level, you actually can't see some of those team-ups from, like, Wizard City and Krakatopia because those are low-level team-ups. And they basically just don't want low-levels helping out. No, they just don't want the high-levels helping out the low-levels, or... You know, it's weird. It's very bizarre. I really don't understand their gaming philosophy. Like, I really don't understand where they're... I don't know what they're doing, but... Yeah, that pretty much is that. What else do we have here? Novus using Pirate 101 assets. I mean, who cares about that? We're not going to talk about that. No Monstrology update at launch. They mentioned that at the bottom of the test realm notes, or... just the update notes in general, that they are not ready for Monstrology yet. So we'll have to wait for that. Novus being short. I don't know. I mean, people pretty much beat Novus in a day. So I don't think people are going to really be expecting we get like another Chrysalis or something like that. And that pretty much, that's it. That is the whole list. We got through it in pretty much 30 minutes. Yay us and yay me. Finally, I got everything off of my chest, and I hope I got everything off your chest too, because literally every single day is non-stop. Non-stop with the complaints, non-stop with the whole controversy, non-stop with the moaning. So we're done talking about it. We're putting this whole update, Spellment, raids, guilds, I don't care. We're putting this whole update in the closet. And we throwing it in the closet, and we're done talking about it, because I am tired of talking about all these complaints. I don't even care anymore. Like, if you don't enjoy the game, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm about to go play Fortnite, so you want to play Fortnite with me? New chapter just launched, and I'm sure you might have a better time on Fortnite rather than Wiz. Even though Fortnite is cartoony, I still appreciate all the support and update that Fortnite does. Then I go on to Wizard 101, and we get all this whole list of complaints, bugs, issues, etc. And it seems like generally nobody is happy about Novus. So without further ado, I'm ending the video here, and I am done talking about this dumb Novus update. If you have a problem, put it in the comments below, but I'm not making no more videos about it. Hopefully I managed to basically say everything off my chest. If not, oh well. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. My name is Richard Unicorn Caller. I will see you guys later, and peace out.